Love that song from 1985. Billy Newton Davis, right beside you on the Morning Zoom with Andy and Jane.
Yeah, Billy had huge success in the 70s and 80s, but he is still making hit songs, most recently earning a Juno for Best Dance Recording of the Year for his work with deadmau5 on All You Ever Want. And Billy actually has two big shows coming up in Toronto. Tonight at the Mocambo for Pride, and this coming Tuesday at Koerner Hall for Toronto Jazz Fest. So we've reached out to Billy Newton Davis, who joins us now on the Morning Zoom. Hi, Billy.
Good morning, Jane and Andy.
Well, Billy, you know, the city being taken over by the World Cup, but if it's not been taken over by the World Cup, it's been taken over by Billy Newton Davis. These are two great shows at two legendary Toronto venues, the Mocambo tonight for a Pride event, and then Koerner Hall next week for the Toronto Jazz Festival. So let's start with your show tonight at the Mocambo, Billy. We're going to get to your amazing career here in a second. Jane just touched on it a little bit, but I know tonight's show, it's meaning to you in a personal manner. You've been an advocate, lending your voice to HIV and AIDS activism for many, many years, haven't you?
Yes, I have. And I was diagnosed in gosh, I can't even remember, maybe 86. And, it was a very, very difficult time for me because I had then done or had been working on my second album. So that was devastating news. And, at that time, there was nothing to help you or there were no drugs. It was just a very difficult time. Friends were dying. I had left New York, but I had lots of friends. Like you would just hear it constantly. Oh, he died. He died. And then one of my dear friends, Sharon Red, died. And that really was devastating to me. And I just didn't know, kind of what to do. So I just kept plugging along.
Yeah. And how is your health?
My health is wonderful. I just turned the big 7'5".
I know. I saw that.
well, it's very interesting because, aging is one thing and HIV is another thing. So they're two different things. And I have old man ailments. But what keeps me going really, I believe, is my music. And what I wanted to share with you guys was, when I was doing shows in New York and touring in national companies, I would always do a show at a club. I would find a place that I could, do my music. And I'll never forget begging the guy at the Improv in LA to let me do my show on a Monday night because we were dark on Mondays. And I just love music. And my mom and dad played music. We had a record store for 13 years in Cleveland, Ohio. So I've just been surrounded by music. And of course, we were church people. And, so that plays a big part in it. And I started when I was 5. Wow. So, my life it's very interesting and it's very wonderful. I'm in a relationship for 32 years.
Congratulations.
Thank you, with a wonderful guy. But it is, these are very important times and these are very interesting times. And my advocacy is even deeper because when I think about it, I've been fighting for all of us. I fight for women's rights, Jane, definitely. And Andy, I just fight for our rights, as people. So it's not just a gay thing. It is fighting for rights that we are all happy and that we're all getting to do what we want to do in life.
Now, your show, we're speaking with Billy Newton Davis, by the way. Billy has two big shows in the city. He's taken over the city if World Cup hasn't. Billy's got a show tonight at the Mocambo for a Pride event, and then next week, June 23rd, at Koerner Hall for the Toronto Jazz Festival. Let's talk about your show next week, Billy, at Koerner Hall. You're a little, you're a little bit pop, you're a little bit dance, you're a little bit jazz, you're a little bit everything, Billy. Tell us about your connection to jazz music. I know you're tight with Molly Johnson, friend of the station, friend of the show. How did jazz music become something that you do, that you do well, that you perform?
Well, I've always had jazz in my life. And, there's nothing better than a good standard. And most standards are jazz, in my opinion. But cabaret, jazz. I filter in a few different genres of music, because I can, first of all. But jazz it speaks really loud. Jazz has so many genres within it itself. But Sammy Davis was a great influence on me. And when I look back, at his life and what he's done, there was a lot of jazz and there's a lot of standards. And that's how it all works for me. First of all, I won't sing a song that I don't like and that I don't want to do every night. But I sing songs that are meaningful to my life. And I kind of find myself to be an expressionist with music. I take those lyrics and I think about them. I was very lucky to have Tom Allison, who's a great director in Canada, direct me in a show called Sammy and Me. And it was about my life with Sammy. But all of that evolves around jazz. Sammy, Pearl Bailey, Della Reese, like they're all jazzy. They all do Billie Holiday, of course, and Ella, of course, and
Amazing.
Sarah, of course.
So Billy Newton Davis, we just have a minute left here.
Okay.
75 is young by some of today's standards.
Absolutely.
You look at Mick Jagger and you look at Paul McCartney. But what is your life like? Like, how do you perform at that level and fuel those performances in your lifestyle choices?
Well, I think resting is very, very important. My voice is, I'm very lucky. I'm knocking on this beautiful wooden table I have. You have to have the voice, and I've maintained it somehow, and that happened with the nylons. Mika Barnes was very, very helpful to me and introduced me to Seth Riggs in California, and I just do these same vocal exercises. But that's what I do, Jane. I rest. I take care of myself. I monitor myself. Like last night, I was in bed early. I think 10:30 because I knew I had to be up early. Whereas before, when I was younger, I used to maybe just be coming in for the interview.
There you go.
You know what I mean?
Oh, yes, we know what you mean.
Yeah, we know exactly what you mean.
Okay.
Been there, done that.
So, Billy Newton Davis, you are at the El Mocambo tonight, and you are at Koerner Hall this coming Tuesday night. Thank you so much for taking time out to speak with us about your life and your passions. It was really good to chat.
Well, Andy and Jane, it was wonderful to be with you this morning.